So when it comes to this, like, food content, I really don't watch any food content. I don't really watch um, any YouTube channels or any shows for that matter having to do with food. I definitely, I've tried to watch things like Hell's Kitchen. I found that almost unbearable to watch. I enjoyed watching Kitchen Nightmares. I felt it was the closest thing to real because I do believe that there are disgusting restaurants that are that bad out there. You don't need to over exaggerate things the way Hell's Kitchen over exaggerates things. And something I've been meaning to do is I've been meaning to get into like a little deep dive on Anthony Bourdain because I don't know anything about him. I know he was a cook. I know he's the author of Kitchen Confidential and I think Cook's Journey, something like that. I know he had a show on the Food Network, then he had a show on CNN. And one thing that always captivates me about him is just when he talks. Like, it's like he just knows the right combination of words to say to, get a point across or an emotion across. So I like that about him. He's very human. But that being said, I am not by any means like a fanboy. I'm not really posting things about him on his birthday or on the day of his passing or he hasn't consciously affected my journey. Maybe indirectly, but it does seem like a guy that's universally loved. And again, just when it comes to things like that sort of thing, even just in general with celebrities and musicians, it's like I respect, but I'm just not like, oh my gosh. This one time, I was doing expo, and it was Wednesday, and Wednesdays there's usually a farmer's market on the street that we're on, 2 blocks down. But it would always suck out service. It'd be slow until it was over, which was around 7 p.m. And then everyone from the farmer's market would make it back to our place and it'd get crazy and it'd be a lot of fun. So this day, it's Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. And I remember it because it happened to be September 11th. We got a reservation for a Gordon Ramsay. And, none of us took that shit seriously. We thought it was a joke, and that was kind of weird. The server came and told us, like, that's funny guys. You guys have a reservation for Gordon Ramsay at 7. Okay, whatever. So then what happens? 7 o'clock rolls around, and guess what? The server comes back, and she's like, guys, Gordon Ramsay's on table 42. And we all look in unison, and it's fucking Gordon Ramsay just chilling, sitting there at 42. Immediately you can, like, it's kind of like the restaurant's a little dark because it's turning into the evening, and you start seeing like the flashes and people like taking pictures and shit. And one of our executive chefs was there. Like, he had already gotten off. He was just kind of hanging out, and he was hanging out like next to the chef who was next to me while I was expoing, just chit-chatting and shit like that. And as soon as he saw that shit, as soon as he realized that, like, oh shit, it really is, Gordon Ramsay really is here, he immediately went back. All of a sudden, he wasn't off work. He got his jacket and just started to chill there. And I remember the guy on grill was a big fucking fan of Gordon Ramsay, and so he couldn't wipe that fucking grin off his face. He cannot not stop looking at him. It's so funny. It was more, my thing was like, okay, so everyone's like in this state of heightened awareness. I'm doing expo. He's behind me. I can't see shit. So just don't lean. Don't do any weird, like, don't be lazy. Just stay and do your thing. It'll be fine. So dinner went fine. When his order came in, they took the guy off a grill, and then the chef cooked the meal, and then the exec chef double checked it, make sure it was good, and then they served it to him. I believe I think he got the octopus. I remember that thing because that was the one thing that eventually, when Gordon came back into the kitchen, it's an open kitchen, by the way. When he walked into our kitchen, he did mention something about the octopus being very good. So he comes in, does it, and it was already planned. Like, the server came and told us that he intended on coming to take pictures, etc. You know, he's a celebrity. He knows exactly the kind of shit he should be doing. And so he comes in, and at the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, it's cool, it's Gordon Ramsay, but I don't care like that, if that makes sense. You know, like, I'm not like, fuck you, Gordon. He hasn't done shit to me. I don't know him like that. But just the same way, I don't know him like that. I'm not gonna start like, wow, who's that guy? I'm not gonna behave like that. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? He's a cook, right? He's a cook. He's a chef. So I'm just gonna make some kind of joke. So I knew I had to make some sort of like Jamie Oliver reference, because that was the only guy that was popping in my head that's like, you know, from the UK. I can't think. I could have done the Marco Pierre White thing, but that wouldn't have been the same. You know, I think him and Jamie Oliver are sort of like the same timeline, so I think it would have really worked well. And so he comes in, he says hi to everyone except me, which is fine because he's like 6'6" and I'm like 5'5", so he probably didn't see me. But he goes around, he's like, all right, how about if I get in the back? We'll take a picture. And that's when I started to take my pictures. I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't, you know, my wife might want to know who came into the restaurant today, you know. So I took some pictures. And we're all there. We're all, you know, we're doing like this huddle thing. We're looking at the camera. And this guy says, like, okay, guys, so on the count of 3, we're all just going to say Jamie Oliver. And I forget. It just fucking, I thought it was so funny because that was the whole thing I was talking about the whole time. And so I kind of like, I forgot what I said. Something like, holy shit, that's exactly what I was going to say. And I see him, and then he sees me, and then that's when they take the picture. After that, he took pictures with staff. He took people, you know, people that wanted to take pictures with him, etc. Half that staff had no idea who the fuck he was. Half of the, like, because some of the cooks are from Guatemala and Mexico, and they're like, "Who is that guy?" He's like, "That's Gordon Ramsay. You don't know who he is?" I thought he transcended like languages and shit, and countries and cultures, but they didn't know who he was. So they eventually, you know, yeah. I showed them YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, okay," but I don't think they understood Gordon, you know, what Gordon is to the industry. But that's it, really. But I would say I think that's the best picture, to be quite honest, because everyone got theirs, you know, they're like next to Gordon thing, and that's cool. I got nothing against that, but I think I like the fact that a moment of a joke was caught in that quick second, because he looked like, yeah, it was pretty fucking cool. Maybe I am fanboy. Maybe I am geeking out on this shit, right? Maybe I am. And I said I wanna ride your nuts, cause I think you're the man. Now I'm sit right in. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I am. But that was the only time. And then, what is it? 2 weeks later, Tyra Banks came in.
You look more like a dog than I do.
But I wasn't there for that. That was a Sunday, and on Sundays I would do brunch. So by the time nighttime came, it was done. And then that was it. I heard Bam Margera was in town, but I don't think he ever made it to our restaurant. And there was this Indian woman from the Food Network, and I think she's like friends with Guy Fieri. I think they had a show together or something. That she came in too. But yeah, that's my big Gordon Ramsay story. That's how I met Gordon Ramsay, and it was kind Can I just say it was whelming? It wasn't overwhelming and it wasn't underwhelming. It was just whelming. So that's a quick story, man. It doesn't, these videos don't always have to be like school's in session, motherfucker. It's like chill fuck out. So anyway, guys, something light for a Monday. Have a great day, guys.